This is Deep Dish Conversations, a series in which I, Jerome Moore, sits down with prominent figures in Nashville, Tennessee to talk about social issues over amazing deep dish pizza. Deep Dish Conversations models how to have conversations about deep issues around racism, housing, policing, poverty, and more. Plus, you will get an idea for where to get your next slice of pizza from. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy Deep Dish Conversations. What's going on, everybody? This is Jerome Moore, your host of Deep Dish Conversations, and we got this is the last filmed episode of season 2. This is the last one. You know, you gotta save. They say the best for last, but I'm saying the biggest for last because we got Calvin Big Fridge Brian in the building today. Now look, if you a Nashville native, you know, and I would say like I was born in '90, and so Calvin. But 4 years older than me. But if you was born in that 90, maybe 91, 92, and you play sports, or if you just in the city, you had to hear about Big Fridge. You had to, you know, in a multitude of ways, right? And so it's an honor, man, to have you on the show. I want to give you your flowers, man, knowing your journey, your path to where you are now, and what you're doing for the Nashville inner city youth, man. And we try to give people, especially black men, they flowers, you know, when we can, man. So I want to give you yours right now, a whole goddamn bouquet of them.
Appreciate that, man.
And hey, man, what's going on? I'm gonna refer to him as Big Fridge or Fridge. So, but it's Calvin Fridge Bryant to get the whole government thing getting out.
Right,
if you need to Google him, look him up.
Right.
But like, what's going on, Fridge, man?
Man, first of all, man, appreciate you having me, man. During these crazy times, just taking a day at a time, man. Happy to be a free man, having a family, just pushing my line, man.
Congratulations. I know you got a little one on the way.
Most definitely. Little Fridge.
Little Fridge.
Right.
We need more.
Most definitely.
Man, so let's get straight into it, man.
Okay.
I know where you grew up, but they might not know where you grew up. So, where you from? What part of Nashville are you from?
I'm from the south side part of Nashville, Edgehill to be exact. 12th Avenue South. Was there from the day I was born until I was 22 years old before I went to prison.
Man, so how's it growing up in, you know, Edgehill housing projects, man?
Oh, we felt like the whole world revolved around Edgehill. So, you know, growing up, man, you know, we had it a little rough, but we was all right, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The love made sure we were straight. I grew up in a 2-parent household, you know. I ain't have no excuses for some of the things I done. I was blessed and with 2 great parents, 2 sisters, family surrounding me. So,
right.
You know, I grew up pretty straight.
Man, so I know growing up in Nashville, before I could remember gangs, it was always sides, right? It was always north side, south side, east side, west side. You had your East B balling, South B balling. So, see, y'all might not know about that. You got to be real Nashville to know about that, man.
Most definitely.
You know, so, man, I was, man, like, reminiscing on those times, man. What was, like, some of your best moments, like, as just, like, a youth, adolescent, teenager growing up in that? Because it's different now. Like, it's Nashville look completely different than when me and you grew up here. So, man, what were some of your best times, man?
I see my best times, some of the funnest times, man, is my teenage years, you know, going to Hillsborough High School, like you said, being a part of those rap battles that took place between East and South. We were like rivals with East Nashville. They didn't really care for us. We didn't really care for them. You know, we had rap.
Who won the battles though?
South Nashville every time. South every time. So you know, we had a rap group called Bezel Gang. You know what I mean? They still around today. Look back. PS, Callis, you know. Then we did our football thing during the time, so we were one of the top teams in the state. So. You know, them was some good times right there. We were real successful.
2 state championships during your
We
time?
went to 3 state championships, won 1.
Okay.
But we wasn't losing to nobody in the city, so y'all know how they go.
Man, so how'd you get the name Fridge, man?
Oh, Fridge, man. A lot of people don't know, man. In 1985, the Chicago Bears had a big football player named the Fridge.
Right.
So my dad met him through a mutual friend. I wasn't born until 86. So after their Super Bowl run with the Chicago Bears, when I was born, my dad paid homage to the Fridge and named me Fridge from day one.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. And you played, but Fridge played running back with the Bears.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a defensive lineman, but they used to put him at running back. So, you know, I kind of fit the description for that. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I had seen an Instagram post. Man, you was kind of breaking down like, look, I had letters from here, offers from here, offers from all these big SEC schools or whatnot, man. How was that? How was that feeling, man? Just getting those offers letters to all these top D1.
Right. It was something new to me and also the neighborhood. So you know, when we became a powerhouse football program in Hillsborough, what was surprising is the talent that we had.
Right.
And, you know, we ain't never had that before. So we started getting offers from Tennessee, Michigan, Auburn, Oregon, all the SEC schools. I mean, was interested in us, and the Oregons, the Colorados, and for an inner city kid, that was big.
Right.
But I think one of the things that kind of hurt me was it was no one in front of me to kind of let me know how to take that process. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up not having just great ACT scores. We waited too late to take them, and we didn't take our recruiting trips the way we was supposed to. So that's why it was big for me to mention to the kids, like, you could be the most highly recruited player ever if you ain't got your grades together and your mind right to step up to that business part of it. Right. You'll just be another person that could have went somewhere. So, you know.
And I think all of us, especially growing up in the city, when we the first or one of few to be exposed to something new, we have nobody to help us navigate those situations. So we kind of trying to figure it out as we going. And you know, we 17 years old, like we don't know. We looking for an adult to like what like how do I need to do this? And so I think it's real. I think it's real important to mention, but also it's important for people like yourself to do what you're doing now, going back and making sure kids do know how to navigate those systems. Because now you see it now, like you got social media and all this. It's a little more resources, but it wasn't like that when you was coming up.
Now, when I was coming up, you know, I was all over the news and the newspaper, but it was basically the city and the state. Now these kids got a platform that you could be from Nashville, Tennessee, and somebody in California can see you, Texas, all over. Just say, for example, they got more camps, they got more exposure. You could do something on social media and go viral and almost get a scholarship for whatever you're doing. So, you know, that's the big thing now is just them taking advantage of it and not getting caught up in the hype too much.
So you ended up going to TSU, Tennessee State University. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, TSU, homecoming. Hopefully we get one. Hopefully we get one this year. Possibly, man. How's that experience, man, during your tenure? You know.
Well, it was a bunch of ups and downs quick. So, you know, people that know me best, they know that I wasn't supposed to go to Tennessee State University. I broke my ankle in the game before the state championship, so I lost a lot of big colleges that was recruiting me. But the love that Tennessee State showed me, they had Coach Reese there at the time. They had Mr. Teresa Phillips was the athletic director. And, like, one night, man, I'm laying up at home in the Edge Hill Projects, man, and we heard a knock on the door. My leg was broke. And walked in was the whole Tennessee State coaching staff.
Wow.
And it's like probably 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And, you know, it just really touched me in a way to let them know, like, I'm a kid sitting here with a broke ankle. Ain't too much I can do for nobody at university right now. And they gave me a full scholarship offer that night. I signed that night.
Wow.
Let them know that, I was committed to that. So when I got up to Tennessee State University, the year after I got there, I had to get my grades right through Prop 48. That was a kind of like academics thing. And Coach Reese was fired, bro. So they brought in another coach by the name of James Webster. He wasn't feeling me the way Coach Reese was. You know, he felt like I should earn this and that, which I wasn't messed up with it, but we ended up having a down season, which was like 2 wins, 9 losses. And he took my scholarship.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that. So when he took my scholarship, we kind of had words because I'm looking at it like, man, I'm an inner city kid on a full scholarship. It's not my fault what happened to us, but you took my scholarship and I got to pay to go to school. I'm not finna pay to play at Tennessee State University. With the kind of talent that I had. So, you know, one thing led to another, and I felt that day, I lost a lot of love for the game. So I stepped away for a minute, and that little small step away where I try to tell kids could be a major factor in your life, and it end up leading up to something bad.
Man, let's get into that lead up, man. A lot of people may be familiar with your story, especially, you know, around school zones, drugs and school zones. And I'm gonna preface it a little bit and let you dive in deeper. You know, you're 22 years old. And really, if the system was to have it their way, you would technically still be
Yeah,
in
I
prison
still have a
until
few more years
yeah,
left.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you got 17-year sentence for something that should have been a 3-year sentence
Right.
for a first-time offender.
Yeah.
And you was the first. When I seen it,
Yeah.
you was the first that they applied that to in Davidson County.
And it been around since 1995.
Right.
Right.
And so when I seen, I said, "Wow, that's crazy." Just knowing like why the first-time offender,
Right.
but also the backstory to that on like the drugs that was sold and how you led up and was kind of pressured.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, by a so-called friend.
Yeah.
And so talk us through that, man.
Okay.
A little bit because that pressure, that
Right.
peer pressure, it come from the ones that's close by to you that want to see you do good, but
Yeah.
you know, and you know, some people just informants working for
Right.
the police and don't know.
Right.
Some people are rats. You know what I'm saying? We can
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
because I
Right.
know you just had a 10. You just went off.
Yeah,
on
I just
that,
went off about that, didn't I?
and I know you got. It was a lot of growth in that message.
Right.
I think people need to hear, and so I want to get in that too. But let's lead up to that.
Just lead them to it, man. You know, some people probably sit back like, how did this kid get this much time if just for nothing, basically? You know what I mean, drugs and stuff. My decisions as a child and my leadership in the community costed me later. So what I mean by that, I joined the GDs, the folks, which was the Gangster Disciples, Growth and Development, whatever they want to call it. And it wasn't them that was the problem, you know what I mean? It was just a growing gang problem in my neighborhood. So me being the leader that I was, I seen what coward-ass dudes was getting in a position where they was making calls and doing things that they wasn't capable of doing.
Right.
So me not being the type that always depended on gangs or needed anybody else, I felt like it was the best decision for me and my family to get involved and change it from the inside out. Well, I'm just a 15-year-old kid at the time.
Right.
Well, by the time I'm 16, I got the attention of the whole city, not for negativity things, but for things that I was a football star already. So negative news traveled faster than positive news. So when everybody found out I was a part of this organization, that was like a big story.
Right.
Like, damn, man, dude, GD, man, we wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
But with every action, there's a reaction.
Right.
So after I got done playing football and I'm at TSU and things like that, the police department get a hold to like, man, this guy's a high-ranking gang member, what they call.
Right.
They come from dudes just getting in trouble saying free is this, free is that,
Right.
just because I was the popular name.
You're the popular
So
name.
to kind of fast forward everybody forward, when I was in the projects and this guy wore a wire on me 3 times. And when we say pressure and peer pressure don't have to be like someone trying to beat you up if you don't do it. It could just be constantly bringing it up.
Right.
Or just being like, hey, man, basically what he told me, man, look, man, I got a white boy that wants some pills.
Right.
So I ain't think nothing of it. I said, man, I got a homeboy to be having pills. But I ain't think nothing of it. I didn't follow up on it. So he kept coming back to me, man, what's up? So I gave him 20 pills the first time, 100 pills the second time, 200 pills the third time. So for people listening, they probably think like, how did he give it to him back to back?
Right.
Well, on sealed indictments, when they building a case on you, I might give a deal to you today.
Right.
I might do one tomorrow. I might do one next month. But it's always going to be on one case.
Right.
So they really making your case look worse.
Right.
So the whole time, man, he was wired up on me in the middle of the projects. He had called a driving charge. They said they were trying to clean up the Edge Hill area for whatever reason.
Right.
And asked did he know me.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I know Fridge. So the investigation started. So when he wore a wire on me, I ended up getting arrested on May 16, 2008, sealed indictments, 3 transactions with this law called the Drug-Free School Zone. My bond was like $350,000. So everybody like, what the fuck is a drug-free school zone? Nobody knew. I didn't know.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'll be back home like the rest of these dudes. But what I didn't know, in 1995, they passed a law for people that was really standing on school grounds serving drugs to kids.
Mostly like crack and stuff.
Right. So the district attorney office at that time was manipulating the law. Like either you gonna work. All they wanted to know was something about GD.
Right.
I couldn't tell them nothing about GD. I don't know what y'all talking about. So
Right.
since I wanted to be a tough guy, so-called, they hit me with the drug-free school zone. So we gonna sentence you like you're a gang leader, whether we can prove it or not.
Right.
So it's any sale or delivery that takes place within 1,000 feet of any daycare, school, library, community center.
Church,
So that lets
I
you
think,
know
too.
church.
Yep.
That lets you know that anywhere in the inner city, in the projects, you're going to be in the school zone.
Right.
But they never applied it to people till it came to me
Right.
most of the time.
Right.
So
Now, you was the first in Davidson County. Yeah, they never. You was the first.
it was a couple dudes before me, but I was the first high profile.
Okay.
That wasn't under the table saying I went to trial, made it like a big deal. So
okay.
When I went to try the first time, the dude got on the stand. A dude from my neighborhood got on the stand against me. Like why I tell people, like, these dudes, you never know what kind of pressure you can take until you under that right light. You feel what I'm saying? So he had a hung jury. So really the jury seen him like he ain't no better than Free Edgewood.
Incredible.
So this how slick the prosecutors was. The next trial they took him off. Act like they couldn't find him. Put a detective on the stand and read his testimony like he was him, which is illegal. So we got the right to cross-examine our witness or whoever it is. So they found me guilty, man, sentenced me to 17 years at 100. So at this time I go to Charles Bass Correctional Facility the first time.
100%.
College student, no good time. The only 2 charges that you can get 100% on has something to do with kids. Now look how this level up. Compare this, a child molester to a guy selling drugs in a drug-free school zone. Keep in mind, my drugs were sold at 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock at night. No kids was around, the schools was closed.
Right.
But the law was so messed up that they could still charge you whether the school was open or not.
Right.
So that's where the railroad came in at. So now, that's why I fast forward a little bit forward. I had to get out and get this law changed because it wasn't fair.
Right.
So they eventually changed the law. But I went to Charles Bass Correctional Facility, and they shipped me to Northwest Correctional Facility. Northwest was the Thunderdome then, the worst penitentiary in the state of Tennessee. That's why I tell people, like, they threw me to the wolves, but I came out leading the pack.
Right.
So what I meant by that is, man, when God for you, you're gonna be all right regardless of where you go. You see what I'm saying?
Man, what was some biggest? Well, one before I say that, now just so people know, educationally, they changed their law. I think it's 500 feet now.
And the judge got the right to charge the school zone, and most likely if it ain't open, they not gonna charge you with it.
Okay.
So that was a big change in.
And people don't know. People, you just don't know about these things.
They still, in my neighborhood, they still doing the same thing. I can tell them all day. They see my story, and they still doing the same thing about the school.
So during your time in prison,
right?
Because we in this era, we talking about rats, snitches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all in our music. It's all on social media. It's all around us.
Right.
And you might not even know it. Somebody might be wild. You just don't even know it. But it's a lot of people are misinformed about like how cool or how for that they really is. It really is for them. Man, what was some of the hard lessons, man, you had to learn about like street life, loyalty, like what really matters, man, during your time in prison, man?
What really hit me, man, my dad was like the dad of the neighborhood, but he was a dude that he grew up in the streets. He played football for Tennessee State, tried out for the Dallas Cowboys, a real family man. He was real all the way around, and my dad never told me nothing wrong. And one day, man, we were sitting in visitation after I went to jail for the first time, and he was telling me how, man, he proud of me, man, how they railroaded me, and just keep manning up to your situation, right? So he asked me something, man, that really hit me, man, and it stuck with me. He said, man, you GD, right? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? And he never asked me nothing about that. Right. But he wasn't picking on GD, he was just telling me about people in general. He said, your bond, look, I got it lowered, so it was like $200,000 at the time. Right. He said, so $20,000 to get you out of jail, right? This is how he talking to me, just like you.
Right.
I said, yeah. He said, look at all them GDs was around you. Look at all them dudes in the neighborhood you saved every day. Look at all these dudes around the city say they love you. $20,000 ain't a lot of money.
Right.
So it made me think like, damn, man. We sacrifice so much and put our life on the line for brothers every day, just doing the right thing or you doing the wrong thing. And at the end of the day, man, it happens to all of us, man. You only got a handful of people that stick by you.
Right.
I had real homeboys to stick by me, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was a handful, and most of them weren't affiliated with nothing I had going on.
Right.
But the ones that really needed me, that still called me from the penitentiary, that's cowards,
right,
they wasn't there, you know what I mean? They
right.
wasn't there for me, you know what I mean? Or none of that, but I just had to boss up in my situation and know, look, man, I got to do this time and come home. It's
right.
one thing for females to leave, man. They got the right to live their life, but with people that just you really put your life on the line for. That these dudes, little young dudes out here shooting and robbing with them, not gonna be the dudes that go visit your mama, or they ain't gonna be the dudes that take care of your daughter. They gonna wear your shirt for a little while, shout you out on Instagram, shout you out on Facebook. You'll do it 30 years by yourself.
Right. Yeah, after a couple years, that died down.
And I learned that it's politics in prison too. So what I mean by prison politics, it go like it's all about who you know. Some of these dudes still rats, but they got money, they got the bag, and they taking care of the right individual.
Right. So, man, and so I grew up around that same stuff, man. But I stayed in my own lane. I knew, hey, y'all do y'all thing. You know, I'll be over here doing this thing. Y'all do y'all thing. We cool, whatever. But like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Don't test me. Don't. But that ain't. Y'all go that way.
Right.
Man. And you see all this stuff, you know, is going on now, especially around just people telling.
Right.
And you mentioned something on Instagram or a correlation. You said something, I'm paraphrasing, but I want you to speak on a little more about how everybody mad at rats, everybody mad at people telling, but they still walk around the neighborhood. But what about the cowards? What about the people who say you down for you? Don't go see your mama. Don't buy your kids school clothes. Don't do any of this stuff. Don't do no real stand-up stuff. Even if you didn't snitch on them, but that's supposed to be your partner, you're supposed to look out for them. And you was like, man, I'm trying to get a law change for one of my partners. You know, and stuff like that. Speak on that a little bit more,
and just elaborate more on that and kind of break down the understanding for the people. Like this rat thing, and I say it sometime, but it's to the point that it's really getting out of control.
Right.
And it ain't due to people ratting this, because you can't get civilians to live by street codes. So a lot of people didn't get ratted on. Your dumb ass just did something stupid and somebody seen you do it.
Right.
And you expect for them to go kill the witness because they seen you look at it when you blew a dude's head off in broad daylight.
Right.
So, you know, it's a difference between being in a street life and a civilian life. So what I meant by that was like, okay, you do got dudes out here to tell.
Right.
But let's be real as real men.
Right.
It's people out here that's told and cooperated with the government or state or whatever. They got better morals and principles as a man than some people that ain't never told before. What I mean by that is, okay, he might have told on a drug case, but he take care of his kids. He go by and check on his moms. He make sure everybody in his family is straight. He good to those around him. Which, okay, flip side, you ain't told on nobody, but you a piece of shit.
Right.
You don't take care of your kids.
Right.
You fucking your homeboy baby mama who in jail.
Right.
But you got the nerve to get on Instagram and make a post about this dude.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So you got your own flaws. So I was like,
some contradiction.
Snakes is just as worse as rats. So when I say that is, okay, everybody want to say, okay, this dude told on Lil Joe.
Right.
Okay, he told on Lil Joe. First of all, y'all letting him walk around.
Right.
And
nobody gonna do nothing about it.
Ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Second of all, man, you having sex with Lil Joe mama.
Right.
Lil Joe got an 18-month-old son. You ain't bought him a pair of diapers.
Right.
Lil Joe mama let you come in the house and spend the night every day.
Right.
When you was little, and
Right.
you ain't been checked on her since Lil Joe been gone.
Right.
So you just as foul as the nigga that told on him.
Right.
So people be trying to use that rat phase to throw the attention off themselves.
Right.
Because I'm somebody that just did 10 and a half years about a dude wearing a wire on me. Man, I ain't got time to focus on talking about rats all day.
Right.
And I went through it.
Right.
So
and you mentioned that too. Like, people ain't never been through it. How you gonna speak on it?
And then it's like, look, let's be real. These dudes cooperate with the government or the state. What y'all gonna do? Kill them?
Right.
And then y'all gonna be the first people they come get. That's why it was big for me not to let none of my partners do nothing to this guy that's told on me.
Right.
I kill him in another way. He all through my book. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The paperwork and everything.
Right.
So I ain't worried about putting my hands on them or killing them because that's what they want you to do. You tricking
Right.
yourself out of your own position.
Right.
I feel like I was bullshitting by even dealing with the nigga.
Right.
I ain't had no business, no dude talking about he got a white boy. That's little boy shit.
Right.
So this dude ain't even been known for selling drugs. I mean, he was a street dude. He do this and do that. But he ain't never had no white boy the whole time I known him. So I feel like I should have been more on point, and I take accountability for my actions, bro. That's what real dudes do.
What's going on, everybody? This is your host and creator of Deep Dish Conversations, Jerome Moore, and I know you're enjoying this episode that you're watching currently. Make sure you hit that notification button and hit subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing episodes. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all love and support, and continue watching the episode. I'll holler. Man, how was that pizza, man?
It was good, man. It was good. I got to get on there.
Yeah, you got to take the rest of it home, man. Take it to the fam. Man, So let's dive back into a fridge, man. You finna put up on some. You finna drop some gems on us, man.
And I'm finna drop some, man, because a lot of people that's not involved in criminal activity or been involved in a case don't know this. In the state of Tennessee, they don't have to reveal your witness to you until 10 days before trial.
Okay.
So a lot of time when people are going around talking about who snitched on them, they don't have the paperwork to show it, or they would.
Right.
But a lot of them are cowards and they go ahead and cop out before they really find out. So the state intention, the whole thing is, if we're going to reveal who snitched on you, you're going to have to do some time. So ain't no copping out once you find out who it is, because it could be your best friend.
Right.
So how they did me was 10 days before trial, they dropped dude's name on me. But they let me know, since we giving you this information, ain't no copping out no more.
Right.
We going to trial.
Right.
Dudes ain't willing to do that. That's why it's so much gossip who the police, because they really don't know.
Right.
Or they'll show the paperwork. Why argue when you can say, hey, this is a seal from the state of Tennessee? Because you get all that information. Did you know when you're a confidential informant? And I'm going to show this on Instagram and back up what we're saying, and I'm going to tag your story, what I talked about. When you're a confidential informant, they give you your social security number, your address, your places you work at. That person that you telling on gets all your information, bro.
Wow.
And I'm going to show it to you. You got a sign, you got code names and all that. And just to make this podcast even more, we going to do that. Probably I'll do it today or tomorrow. I'm going to post it and tag you and talk about it like, this is why you don't want to be a confidential informant also.
Right.
The police don't tell you that you got to do this. And I'm going to show you all the information.
Wow. Yeah.
See, it's educational because our kids don't know this. People don't know this. They just thinking, okay, I got the situation, I'm going to go ahead and tell them, do. But dude, I have your social security number.
Right.
He got this, he got that, because they got to reveal everything about you. Every charge you ever caught. I'm going to tell you how cut though to get, bro. My confidential informant was a habitual driving offender. I found that out through the paperwork.
Right.
They was letting this fool drive to all my transactions. So they broke the law to uphold the law. You see what I'm saying? How you do that?
Right.
So I'm just letting you know, like, just putting y'all up on game, that's some valuable information. You know?
He didn't do no jail time or anything. He escaped all his little...
Man, he be in and out all the time. He beat up his girlfriend. He do all that old... His record that thick, bro. I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to tag you, man. I'm going to tag the podcast, let people know I was on here and just finish that. I like to show black and white don't lie.
Right.
People believe you more when you can show them evidence and shit. They be like, oh, man, I can trust dude word, man.
Right.
Dude 100.
Man, so doing your stint, man, to your 10.5 years. Ain't no
Rick Ross, bro.
Man, Now because you know what I'm saying. Nah, because you know what I'm saying. Like you know what I'm saying. I had partners. You know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna mention their name on the podcast, but you know what I'm saying. Y'all did time together. Right. You know what I'm saying. Because we from the city. You know, like
you know.
No. You know what I'm saying. We'll talk about it later, but man, I know shit. It ain't no easy time. You know what I'm saying. And anything could just set you off. Whether you know what I'm saying. You know that green dot don't come through, or a female tripping, anything, because you're already on edge, and especially if you're affiliated, which they were too. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You know how many traumas and you know what I'm saying, with wars, battles. You got, like you see, you got to, ain't no telling what's going on, man. And so having to deal with all that, which probably a lot of people don't even know everything you had to deal with. Because I know like that's just traumatic to even have to speak about it sometimes. And I ain't gonna ask you to speak about it, but I will ask you, through all that situations, man, how did you keep your how do you remain free? How you didn't compromise who you was to be able to get out and do what you're doing now, man? Right.
Man, basically, man, the upbringing, man. I tried to stay close to how my mom and pops taught me, you feel me?
Right.
And, you know, I had to learn how to deal with people, bro. Like, I've always been a people person, but you got to learn how to deal with the murderers, the robbers, the killers, the gay ones, everything, like the guards fucking with you. You got to learn how to be in your space and not be affected by things around you, man. So you really got to block a lot of things out. Right. And my main motivation was to get home to my mom. She was sick, bro. I lost my father during the time I was incarcerated. So I'm like, I got to get home to her. Right. So I knew some of the things and the choices I made can stop me from getting home to her. Right. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was wars that popped off, I fought in. You feel what I'm saying? One-on-ones I fought in. Right. And it wasn't never because of me, bro. It was always because of somebody else. Right. And it really broke me down to the point that I was fed up, bro. Like, I'm tired of having to ride with dudes that I don't even know, bro. This dude might be from Knoxville, Memphis, Chattanooga, and he could be in the wrong, but just because of what I signed up for,
Right.
I got to ride. So I got to the point, bro, when I had position in compounds and things like that, I led by example, bro. I let my guys know, look, we ain't doing no bullshit. We doing bullshit, we busting your ass up.
Right.
So, you know, when everybody can't be in a position of authority and a leader like that.
Right.
But I was blessed enough with those attributes to be like, look, man, this how it's going to go. But you got to realize there's other gorillas in there like you.
Right.
And the other gorilla might not be on no positive stuff. So you got to
Right.
play a chess match like,
Right.
man, prayer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it been time before we get into it with somebody. I'm in the cell before the dog pop like, God, let me make it through this.
Right.
Because I ain't Rambo. You feel what I'm
Right,
saying? And I
right.
ain't no machine. I know in the day, person catch me right, that could be my last day. I've seen people get killed in there, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Over
Right.
bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I just pray, bro, and staying grounded and being thankful. And I feel like God just led me up out of there. But it's bullshit every day, bro. You couldn't sit. Bro, the only peaceful time in prison, bro, is when you sleep. And some people can't sleep when the door's locked. Because you know why? Man, you could be sitting there, have a conversation, got a phone, talking to gas. But if we hear some noise on the rock, guess what we got to do? Get up and see who that is.
Right.
Because that could be your brother or your folks, your homie out there fighting. And if you don't help, they smashing you.
Right.
So I can't go home on the street and hide from this. It's an everyday thing. It's 128 niggas in a pod.
Right. And there ain't no guns.
No guns, just butcher knives.
Yeah. So if y'all want to sign up for that, go ahead.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it
They
ain't
got room
really-
for you.
Yeah. They got plenty. Open bed.
I don't want it no more.
Yeah. Nah, I don't want it. Period. I don't
Right.
want to ever have to. Nah, forget
Nah.
that. Nah, forget that. Y'all can act like that. Y'all want that. Like nah, that ain't living to me. It's too much out here that else to be living for.
Right.
Man, your release was a big thing,
Right.
especially for the city, man, because of that law,
Right.
which was, pretty much unconstitutional,
Yeah.
and it was set up. It was entrapment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
It was definitely entrapment, especially for black inner city youth.
Yeah, you know
to
what
put
time.
because you go anywhere, it's going 1,000 feet, because that's what the
Yeah.
housing projects is. That's what
Right.
a lot of the neighborhoods
Build
is.
around, yeah.
We're built around. Period. And so, man, how did you feel, man, being able to come home, not have to, you know what I'm saying, still 10 to have, you still, it ain't like,
Right.
you didn't lose a decade of your life, you know what I'm saying, but being able to not have to, do that 100% and know, like, that you fought and had people to fight
Right.
for you, because they knew it was wrong, man. How did that make you feel, man, to
Man.
get that support?
First of all, I gotta give a shout out to people that stood by me, man, through that whole process. Because it was a team effort. So all my family and friends, you know who you are out there. We ain't got time to name everybody. My lawyers, Joey Kimbrough, Daniel Horwitz. I was about to say Daniel Hambro, but Daniel Horwitz. But man, I got released on 2018 Halloween. And I'll tell you, that was the craziest day ever, bro. My lawyer came a day before and told me I was getting out tomorrow. I ain't believe him, bro. I said, ain't no way, bro. I kind of got to the point I believed that I was going to go home one day, but it's like, y'all really going to have to show me this one right here.
Right.
So when I got to that courtroom, bro, all them cameras was there and all that, and I really got released that day. Social media went crazy.
Right.
I was on everybody's page. I did interviews with 245,
Right.
17, bro. It was like a dream come true.
Yeah, man, I was living in China at the time, and I seen you.
That's crazy, man.
I-
And bro, man, you think I'm lying, bro? This city showed me so much love, bro. I felt like Mika and Philly. And the way they stood up for me, bro, I could be out to eat, bro. I didn't pay for nothing for like 2-3 months.
Wow.
I'm talking about people just, how you doing? How you doing, sir? And there might be money in my hand. You know, I ain't looking at a number.
Right.
Like, man, after I get done eating, I might tell the waitress I'm ready to pay, and somebody else paid for yours. I mean, that happened for 2-3 months, and even to this day, I still get love, man. I'm like, the city of Nashville showed me so much love, bro, to be labeled a gang member,
Right.
a leader of a gang, and all that. And
Right.
I pushed that to the side, and nobody having no hard feelings, and just
Right.
accepting who I am, accepting my organization. That same love I got on the football field, bro, I'm getting it double and helping kids and running my organization, bro. So it was really like a dream come true. I had to go through that, I guess. You feel me?
Man, getting out, did you have any worries that your past life would sneak up on you, because everybody don't want to see you do good,
No,
Chris.
man, no.
Even now, probably.
No, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
And I stay on point, bro. You know, it's a lot of individuals, man, that worry about, like, brother, I rep some or I'm a part of some. I'm going to say how gay dudes is, bro. If you got an individual that the district attorneys are messing with, the lawyers are messing with, he on the news and the newspaper, why would you want him around illegal activity?
Right.
A real dude will be like, hey, bro, stay away from me. You got
Right.
too much going on.
Right.
These dudes, and I ain't saying all of them because I love a lot of them.
Right.
But a lot of these gay dudes, they when I say gay, I'm not talking about they mess
Like,
with boy. I'm just saying
right.
like they
You're not talking about
female
those.
tendencies. I mean,
Right.
they just on some bullshit and they just want you for your name, bro.
Right.
That's what females do.
Right.
So these dudes will love to say, hey, man, Fridge was with us last night.
Status.
We did it. Yeah, man. Just come on, clout chasing.
Right.
You feel me? And I watch them, bro. I stay on point everywhere I go. I just know God got me.
Right.
I don't move in fear. I
Right.
know people don't like that, bro, because
Right.
it ain't beneficial to them. With people, it's beneficial or artificial.
Right.
So why be one set or one gang or one organization when I can help them all?
Right.
Man, Vice Lords got kids out here.
Right.
Crips got kids out here. Bloods got kids out here.
Right.
Four corner hustles, whatever clique you want to claim.
Right.
Why come I can't help their kids?
Right.
And if I can't help them all, I don't need to help. I don't need to be a part of nothing.
Right.
So you know, I mean, my main thing is this, man. I read this from a wise man said it's easier to raise kids than to rebuild broken men.
Right.
Broken men.
Right.
And with the community and what's going on, man, when I got out, the same thing was going on that was going on in 2008.
Yeah.
So these are broken men. I don't have the energy to do that.
Right.
But if I could change the way these kids think, that make a better way for Treasure,
Right.
Lil Fridge, they're my kids,
Right.
your kids, his
Right.
kids.
Right.
So if I can show them, man, I got so much respect for guys like y'all because y'all being y'all self. Some of the toughest guys I've been around was guys that wasn't gang members.
Right.
And they ain't out there trying to be hard, but if you
Right.
take them to that level, they can take you wherever you want to go.
Right. And that's what I always try to promote. You know what I'm saying, be yourself.
Man,
But it's so much influence, just depending on the environment, because don't nobody want to be the outsider.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so to be the insider, like, oh man, let me become affiliated, let me do this
Yeah.
so I can be look cool. And a lot of times too, that's why I think when the absentee father
Right.
plays a part. Because I had a good dad. I had an OG
Right.
as a daddy.
Me
And
too.
so just like yourself, you know, and that helped us, that grounded us.
Yeah.
Like, man, I ain't gotta follow another man. If I'm gonna follow him, I'm gonna follow
Well,
my daddy.
right.
Right. But a lot of men
Don't
don't
have
have
that,
that.
yeah.
And so they gotta find that, unfortunately, somewhere else. And they live and learn, you 15, 16, you live and you can grow from that, hopefully. But some
Right.
people don't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or don't get time to grow because they get buried, they get put in the dirt.
Right.
And so I'm glad that you said that, and like we kind of mentioned before, it's different coming from me, and for some people, then it's different coming from you to some people.
Right.
I ain't did 10 and a half. I ain't
No.
trying to do 10 and a half.
Right.
But there's people that may be following youth that's following your footsteps that can see you like, damn, he telling me about these wars, and you can look into their eyes and
Right.
say, man, look,
This ain't for you.
This ain't for you. Trust me. this ain't for. I know. I seen cats that's 18, a couple years older than you.
No.
You ain't ready.
No.
You ain't. And so you can say that, man. And I hope there's people listening and watching now that reach out to you because you're a perfect role model, perfect example on like going right, doing right, going wrong,
Yeah.
and then from going wrong, getting back into it and doing right,
Right.
and trying to help that next generation and other people's kids, man. So hopefully people are watching that and learning and shit. Have you come speak to they students, they
Right.
kids.
And you know what's crazy now that you say that, bro? I'm gonna show you how disconnected people like Metro schools are from the community. Bro, you know where the schools I done spoke at? Now I was helping, like, shout out to In Full Motion with the Fitzgeralds.
Yeah.
They gave me
Fitzgerald. Yeah, shout out to Coach.
they gave me a job when I got out, and I was working at the juvenile as well. But I worked at Haynes School with kids.
Okay.
That was one of the best times I had when I first got out. The kids was a trip. But besides them, I spoke at Hume Fogg, bro. And what's sad is I spoke at Hume Fogg and they love me, man. The kids love me. Hillsborough I spoke there because of Coach Fitzgerald, but like just school wise, the Pearls, the Strappers, the Maplewoods, the White Creeks, when they got baby Fridges there, bro.
Right.
People that's making wrong decisions, they can get in trouble. They ain't told me to come in and speak to these kids or none of that. So that's the disconnect also, like,
Right.
Everybody know.
Dr. Battle, we need to get Fridge in there.
Man, most definitely. And I got a lot of respect for Dr. Battle. And she don't know. She got a lot going on.
Right.
But if she listen to this, I can help your hallways.
Right. It is really, like you mentioned, it shows how disconnected Metro is not to have persons like yourself talking to the kids, because you exactly who they need to hear from.
Right.
You exactly who they need to hear from, and they need to pay you for it.
Yeah.
Because who else gonna talk to them? Who else gonna listen to them? Who else? If it's not somebody they can relate to.
And it's a chain of command for there's levels to it. So Dr. Battle, for example, she has a whole thing on her agenda.
Right.
But there's people that went to school with me working in Metro School. There's people went to
Right.
school with you.
Right.
What is it to put a word in like,
Right.
hey, man, this guy might need to be the guy that come up here and talk to these kids
Right.
and get a program going or something because they'll listen to them.
Right.
We don't even have people doing that, but they get on social media and complain about what the kids doing all day.
Right. Right.
But you got the tools around you to get it done, but it's just like, do you really want to get it done or you want to get lights and
Right.
chairs and
Yeah.
things like that? That's all.
Yeah.
But shout out to Dr. Battle, man. She's doing a great job.
Oh yeah, she is, and we're gonna have Dr. Battle. We talking to your people. We're gonna get you on season 3. Gonna get you on season. Get Fridge, get Fridge a full time like job up there, like with kids and some type of youth.
Right.
The marriage, like those people need to be tapped in. If they really want to tap into the community, they got to be tapped into persons like yourself that didn't walk that life, can go into them projects, and ain't like your him being like all these other folks is, you know what I'm saying, we know that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, check their jacket, you know, it is what it is. But you can use it for positive. You can use your past to change the future.
Right.
And I see that's what you're doing, man, with your PIC Foundation.
Right.
You know, positive inner city kids.
Right.
And so, man, talk to us a little about that. Man.
Man, real quick, man. Positive Inner City Kids was a program that I started when I was incarcerated in 2015. So I had this vision saying that I want to equip all the kids in the community with the tools to be successful and learn from my mistakes, and regardless of their address, it don't got nothing to do with the success they have. So I got it certified through the state in 2015. 2018, I came out running. I got blessed in 2019 or I want to say 20 from my big guy Ramon Foster. Used to play with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
He gave me a $10,000 grant to get it started, and ever since then, man, we've been doing major things in the community. We mentor, we do scholarships, we do we're working on field trips as we speak. We involved with the juvenile justice system, working hand in hand with them. So, you know, it's major things going on in the community with us, and we open to north, east, west, south. Maybe we can use this one program to bridge the gap between north, south, east, west, Crips, Blood, GD, whatever you is, bro. We accept you, man. We just want you to do good and let every kid know, man, you got a home away from home, but we gonna work inside the home. You feel me?
Man, what's like the biggest impact that you want to have, man? Once it's all said and done, you know, well, you 60, 70, you know, you can't move like you move now, you can't run, but you know, like, when you sit back and you seeing your kids and you looking at them, man, what do you want your legacy to be, man?
Man, I want my legacy to be that, man, he was the individual that came out and told people and showed people that it's okay to do the right thing and be a stand-up guy. You don't got to do bullshit to be respected.
Right.
Right now, I'm sitting here probably one of the most respected guys in the city, and I never robbed anybody, never killed anybody, none of that. I was a football player that made a bad decision.
Right.
So to let people know, like, to look out for everybody, man. Everybody need to be a family that when you let your kid go outside, you know it's another kid our age responsible enough to look out for.
Right.
Because one day, bro, we ain't going to be able to go outside. We ain't going to be able to sit here. We're going to be in the house, probably getting a little older on the porch. Right. We got to know that we planted the right seeds, man. Because right now, some older cats looking at me like, man, I'm glad Fridge out there doing that. Right. So, you know, I mean, just to have that accountability for everybody and these kids learning trades, just living their life, man, and I mean, living it to the fullest, because me personally, I feel like it's a trap I already set for them. Right. So, you know, one thing that's going to be the same 20 years from now is going to be, guess what, somebody going to be going to court today. Right. Somebody going to be in juvenile, somebody going to be in prison. Well, how can we break the cycle? You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm on.
You got a book coming out soon.
Right.
We got to end on this. Yeah. First, man, what's the title of your book? And when's the expected release date? And what can we expect from the book?
Man, look, expected release date will be soon, man. Very soon, within the next couple months.
Okay.
Both sides of the story is the name of it. And they go all the way from my childhood, prison experiences, basically telling you how a guy can be one of the top football players in the state of Tennessee, make a bad choice, and end up in the Tennessee Department of Corrections. So I went from a college student to being on death row with people that was going to get killed, or being in the same facility as people that's getting killed. Right. So I just want to give people that story behind the story. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I say both sides of the story. People done heard things, but I'm going to give you the real and expect the real. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings.
Right.
It's going to expose a lot of people.
Right.
But, you know, the main thing is to get that message out there that, like, anything is possible, bro. Right. What my Team Freeze movement about.
Right. You dropping real names? You dropping aliases?
I mean, my thing is I drop a couple of aliases, but most of it's real, man. You feel what I'm saying? Right. It's real life, you know what I mean? So it ain't just bashing nobody. Like, when I talk about my confidential informant, that's public record. You can't sue me for that.
Right.
If I talk about one of my friends that wasn't there, everybody know his nickname.
Right.
You see what I mean? If you got a problem with something you did, you should have changed what you did.
Right.
So it's definitely names that's in there. You feel what I'm saying?
But you know, nobody want to be held accountable no more, man.
Nah,
accountability is a mug. Woo.
But my thing is, man, you know, accountability is a must, man. So, you know, you can get in your feelings, but don't let your feelings sing you out. Right. Because what I'm saying is true. So,
but that happens, though.
Yeah, it does happen.
That's what it be. Yeah. Like, he right, but I'm mad.
Yeah, I'm mad. He had to say it like that. But, you know, it's definitely the truth, man. Right. It's really a comeback story, man. America love a comeback story. So I feel like even outside of Nashville, Tennessee, man, the nation is going to love this story because it's a fridge inside their neighborhood.
That's a fact.
Right.
Man, hey, I appreciate you, man. Hold on, before we wrap it up, how can people donate to PIC? How can people get in contact with you? Drop your emails, IGs, Twitter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because
I need to give me a Twitter on it, man. I ain't even got one.
Hey, Twitter's a mug. But the reason I bring it up because a lot of programs like yours, very impactful, but they can have more impact if you can build capacity. Right. You need funds. You need the resources.
Most definitely.
And so, man, I want to give you an opportunity, and I want to give the watchers and the listeners an opportunity to put more resources into PIC and what you're doing in your movement, man.
Well, like you said, my organization is Positive Inner City Kids, man. I work hands-on every day with it. We right now, for its donations, you can get directly with me, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I'm 501c3. I'm tax exempt. All our books is straight. I mean, I can show them.
How they reach you?
They can reach me at One Team Fridge on Instagram and Calvin Fridge Brand on Facebook. Okay. Right now, my website being constructed, upgraded. So right now, you can reach me at One Team Fridge, at One Team Fridge on Instagram, and Calvin Fridge Brand on Facebook.
Cool. And also, I always like to mention this, like, you know, you can always donate in other ways than money. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you know, website, promotion, doing videos, coming out and taking pictures, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your talents could be, you can donate those talents to PIC for Fridge and to help, you know what I'm saying, your cause and your movement, your impact, man, that you're having on the city, man. And again, man, I want to give you your flowers right now, man, while I have you, and just tell you, man, you're a big influence on the city. And people watching, man. People probably don't like what you got to say all the time because you hold people accountable and you say what it is. But it is what it is. And I appreciate you, man. And I always like to say, man, anybody that no matter the past, you know what I'm saying, is welcome on Deep Dish Conversations. And it's unfortunate that, you know, a lot of people, a lot of platforms, you know, won't have a fridge on there for whatever reasons. You know what I'm saying? Won't have a fridge on there. But if you a fridge out there, or so in between, you come on Deep Dish and we can get it on. You'll get a free pizza and we're gonna talk our shit. But I appreciate your time, fam. Man, and man, we're gonna stay connected. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna talk about some other stuff off record or whatnot. But man, I appreciate your time, dog.
Anytime.
And appreciate Brandy. Shout out to Brandy for connecting us. She do both our help. You know what I'm saying? Brandy. We're gonna talk about you after this.
We're gonna weigh you out.
We're gonna weigh you out. But appreciate your time, dog. And I appreciate y'all for listening and watching it to another episode of Deep Dish Conversations, man. Fridge, it was a pleasure, dog.
Most definitely, man.
All right. Salute. It's a wrap.